Yeah, so Kate's there now.
Thank you again. Welcome to the Page Unified School District Governing Board regular meeting for today, Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. Call this meeting to order at 5:32 p.m. Can I start, or can we get a roll call, please?
Bryce Anderson. Chris Paul sorry.
Desiree Fowler.
Bunny Cochran, Renee Sosi,
Barb Shields.
Awesome. I'd like to ask our board members to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item C, moment of silent meditation. Great, thank you. Item D, approval of agenda. Do you have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion was made by Renee, second by Bunny. Motion carries. Item 2, announcement and comments at the moment. I don't, oh, we do. We do part. Public comments or complaints concerning facility service, personnel, and instructions heard by the board until the district's due process procedures are followed. Forms for filling a complaint are available at the superintendent's office. To address the board, please fill out a blue card and give it to the board secretary of the superintendent prior to the meeting. The board reserves the right to limit public comments due to time restrictions to 3 minutes. So first, we will have Debbie Roundtree.
The person that was coming to speak with me, she still hasn't arrived, and so it looks like she's not gonna make it on time, so I'm gonna postpone until next board meeting. We'll make a comment.
All right. Brian Kerr.
I want to make sure I'm in the proper section. I do have a comment, but I don't have a complaint. I haven't filed a complaint. Is this the section?
You'll be given 3 minutes
Okay.
for your comment. Please use the microphone here. And Buddy, I'm sorry. Do you have 3 minutes on the timer, Barb?
I do.
Okay. Barb will
I
give
have
you,
some-
I'm sorry, Barb will give you a warning at 1 minute, 30 seconds, and when your time is up.
Okay. Do I need time to distribute? some
Yeah, you can give that
documents?
to us.
Does that count cutting my time, or? This is an email, an edited version of an email I sent out earlier today. I just took names out, so it wasn't personal. But there's a copy for- Sorry, Bryce, I didn't print enough. But you have the email, so. Time to start. Evening, board members. This is an edited version of an email I sent earlier today regarding the state of lockers at the high school. The email was originally addressed to the principal, referencing a discussion that took place earlier this morning. And so I'm going to try and cut some stuff out here because I'm not going to be able to get to all of it in 3 minutes. But long story short, my daughter has had severe issues when trying to access a locker. I'm sure she's not the only one, but after 1 week of school, I've heard several stories from multiple students regarding locker issues at the high school. Originally, this was me getting involved for my daughter, but I think this is a bigger issue. It's This is me speaking up on behalf of students and people who may not have the ability or voice to do so. Because there's been incidents where students were issued lockers that don't work, and they're issued more lockers, and they're told that this is the last locker you're gonna get. Well, another student was issued a locker and told, here's your locker, here's the combination. The student opened up the locker, and there was another student stuff in there. My older daughter has not used a locker her whole high school career. She's a junior. They just never worked, and it wasn't worth her trouble. She just learned how to live without. So, yeah, there are a lot of factors that come together this year for us, particularly because my daughter is an athlete. She's female, and there's a clear bag policy in place this year that kind of exacerbate all this stuff. But I was wondering about what kind of planning took place when the middle school went to close, because I was told that there's a plan in place to use middle school lockers to potentially fix the high school lockers. Sorry? Okay. Yeah, I mumble a lot, sorry. But there's a plan in place to use the middle school lockers to begin fixing the high school lockers, and I haven't been giving any timelines or timeframes on any of that stuff, but basically, there are lockers here at the high school, majority of them, I don't want to say majority of them. When were the last inventory? How many of them work? How many complaints have been coming? That's 3 minutes?
30 seconds.
Oh, I have 30 seconds left?
Yes.
Okay.
we're down to that.
Okay, so yeah. When was the last inventory? Why aren't they maintained? We don't have physically enough for every student in the high school. Why is this acceptable? How was this overlooked when the students were being brought to the high school? The school continues to expand,
That's time.
but we can't provide basic facility. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, for your comment. Your turn.
So can we respond back to him or
No,
no?
we cannot. It's a public comment. We can only listen. All right. And then Debbie will return next month at the next board meeting. Item 3, special business recognition and approval of donation made by the district or to the district in the amount of $329 from Barry Sherman to Science Department, $1,361 to Auto from Stephanie Barzell to CTE Auto, in the amount of $2,437 from Elks Lodge 398 to Culinary, in the amount of $3,000 from Page LK Powell, Lake Powell, Chamber of Commerce to Culinary. Do we have a motion?
I motion.
I'll second that.
Oh, go ahead.
President Fowler, members of the governing board, if I could ask that the motion be to,
Approve.
we formalize that motion just so it's clear in our minutes.
Chris, can you please state that you approve the motion?
I motion to approve the donations to the district as presented.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion was made by Chris, second by Renee, motion carries. Item 4, reports. A, governing board member report. I'm going to start off with Chris.
I hope I do not violate the open meeting law, but I came across some news that Arizona schools are lowest, like number 48 out of 50 across the United States. So that was kind of concerning to me as one of the, I guess, report that I looked at. Maybe everybody's seen that, but, and that's the report I have for now. And I like to say more, but during the study session, I'll bring it up so I don't violate any open meeting law. I came from the chapter, so where we talk about everything, anything, but here it doesn't work like that. On the res, it's different, so I'll just leave it like this. That's my only report.
Chris, just to let you know that if you do decide to add anything to the agenda for the study session that you want to be mentioned for discussion or have an open discussion, it's important to submit your request 5 days prior to the next meeting. For myself, I did get to attend the back to school, welcome back session for our staff. That was well attended, and I do appreciate that it was in the cafeteria and just utilizing the space and understanding how the program is currently working for our students and our staff was very important, and also just seeing everything working. It was also unique because I also got to share that with a lot of students and parents who had concerns and that were just overwhelmed with the idea of how lunches were going to be. And also Ian did give me a personal tour of the soon-to-be market. So I got some insights on that. That was pretty awesome. I did show not just my son, but other students as well to what is going to be currently in place in the shortcoming, and students that just listening to the feedback and understanding like, wow, this is going to be happening at our high school. That is way too awesome. So I thought it was just really positive, and I just wish that we as the district could give more input and insight to our community and our staff and our students, so it's not so overwhelming to say. But I think after having that knowledge and understanding, it was a bit of a relief, especially when it came to clear backpacks and just some other things that came to a concern for quite a few people. And yes, change is always hard, but I'm very pleased that talking with each of the principals at the welcome back for students and parents, I attended that as well. And it was really nice too, because just having that informal conversation with our principal is very important, and with our staff. It made me realize quite a few things. As new board members, we don't often get to see what is happening behind closed door, but it also brought attention to bring back the idea of having breakfast with the board. And that's something that we used to do a while back. And I like to bring that idea back so that we're able to have conversation, open, broad conversation with our staff at each of our building sites. And also having a tour, I think, is very important for each of our board members to see how the ground is running at each of our schools, because we don't know what we don't know, but we can only assume. But more importantly, it's very important to see and have that open dialogue and discussion with our staffs. And I felt that that was also important, that I would like to see happening with our district. And then also kudos to each and every one of you. I mean, the departments to make this year successful, but also to the extension of our bus routes. And also, I know was first week of school, but just bus routes in general. For a lot of parents, it was scary. I understand that. And, always you're going to hear a lot more of the negative feedback more than you will of the positive. But Superintendent Anderson, thank you for also accommodating and helping parents getting their kiddos home and making sure that everyone made it home safely. So I just wanted to say thank you again. And I just appreciate the great work that we're doing here as a Page Unified School District team, and I look forward to an awesome year. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had the privilege today of taking a walk, the different buildings and schools and stuff like that, and meeting with some administrators and staff and such. And I've mentioned this before in the work that I do. I really try and key into the feelings that I get from people and such. I realized as I looked about and saw the changes and stuff, the enormity of the task that was undertaken, and how many people had to go into the team to make this work, to make it successful. I kept mentioning to Dr. Anderson that I was impressed with what I was seeing, and he never once took acclamation to himself. But he mentioned his team, working with the team, and how the team had made it all happen. The cleanliness that was there, I mean, it feels new, and I think that's exciting for the kids coming into something that is new, especially when they're making a change and when the parents too are involved. And like Desiree said, change is difficult and it requires a lot of patience and solution-focused communication for that. There was a sense of cohesiveness that I felt among the staff that I really appreciated, and optimism. There were real smiles and people were happy to see us as we walked about. A sense of positivity, and especially I saw how sixth graders were being schooled in the importance of being role models and such. And I talked with Ms. Stahl about peer mentoring and such, and she likes that idea. And I think that it's exciting that we can really build a stronger student community with that type of a look going forward. There was an excitement, and I think in our world today, as we see it in many respects, kind of growing darker and darker, I really felt that PUSD was really a bright spot, and it's because of the good people that are here and that love our kids and that are willing to work together, you know, bringing together so many personalities, points of view, experiences, backgrounds. Sometimes can be really challenging, but I think we have excellent people at the helm. There was a genuineness of support that I felt, and I really appreciated that. I asked, I talked with Dr. Anderson about, well, how are we communicating with the community about what's going on and what we're doing, and he offered me, I guess, his most recent letter. I'd like to share it with you, if it's all right. Dear students, families, staff, and community members, I hope this message finds you refreshed, renewed, and ready for the exciting journey that lies ahead. As we begin a brand new school year, I am filled with enthusiasm and optimism about what we will accomplish together as we begin the 2025-2026 school year. Our theme this year centers on unlocking potential through student achievement and literacy. These are more than just goals. They are the foundation of a successful future for every student in our district. We believe that with strong literacy skills, our students will not only succeed academically, but they will also thrive in a rapidly changing world. This year, we are sharpening our focus on high-impact teaching and learning strategies, deeper family and community engagement, and targeted support systems that meet students where they are and help propel them forward. From early readers to graduating seniors, every student deserves access to the tools, guidance, and encouragement they need to reach their highest potential. We know that literacy is a gateway to opportunity. Whether it's reading with fluency, writing with purpose, or thinking critically, literacy empowers students to own their learning and shape their futures. Our commitment this year is to ensure that every student builds a strong foundation in literacy that will support achievement across all subjects and in life beyond the classroom. To our parents and families, your partnership is invaluable. Together we can create an environment where students feel supported, challenged, and inspired. To our staff, thank you for your tireless dedication to our students' growth. And to our students, this is your time to shine. We believe in you and are here to support you every step of the way. Let's make this school year one of progress, pride, and powerful learning. Welcome back. To me, this spoke volumes of attitude, and attitude that I felt with the people that I met today in the different schools. And as they say, attitude reflects leadership, and I'm proud of the leadership that we have. I know we're going to have to exercise patience with the change that has come. And like Desiree, again, she said, you know, that change is difficult. I'm really excited that Brian Kerr came here tonight. I wish he would have stayed longer and could just be here. We need more parental participation in the communication. We want to feel that cohesiveness between our school district, our board, our administration, our community, our parents, because they're all such a very important piece of that mosaic of learning and success for our kiddos who will be tomorrow's leaders, who will shape our lives as they go forward. So thank you for all the hard work and the dedication, the tireless effort that that's gone into making this change. And let's all, treat each other with mercy and patience and clear and solution-focused communication so we all can be part of success. Thank you.
Renee?
Good evening, everyone. I don't have any report this time.
Thank you. Thank you. Item B, superintendent reports and/or comments.
President Fowler, members of the governing board, I just want to start with welcome back. This is always such an exciting time of year to launch on a new journey. We all have undertaken significant change over the last 7-8 months. And I really want to commend those folks that have dug into this and made those things a reality. As I walk our campuses, the climate in the buildings is like nothing I've seen before across the district. I walk through the 7th and 8th grade wing of the high school. There's a sense of calm in that building that I didn't feel at the middle school. So I'm very excited to see what the year will bring. A lot of things happened over the course of the summer, and I would be up here for a long time if I shared all of them. But just want to highlight a couple of them. First of all, our registration outreach. We had an opportunity on Tuesday, July 22nd, to be hosted by the Lachi'i Chapter House. Thank you, Renee, for your warm hospitality. Was very well attended. On Thursday, the 24th, we were at the gymnasium behind the market at Kaibito. Students get transportation information. On Saturday, July 26th, we spent of our I had worked with in my previous world, so that was really an exciting day. And hot dogs. I think hot dogs was your request. 9th, we had our main event at Page High School, and that was really nice to get to talk to parents. Had a chance to walk some of our 7th and 8th grade parents and students through the 7th and 8th grade wing, what is currently the 300 building, formerly the B building, just to show them it looks like a brand new building. New paint, polished concrete floor, brand new carpet in all the classrooms. Our teams did an exceptional job of getting the facilities ready. And then we had our all-staff welcome back, and I do want to thank Desiree for being there. We had an opportunity not only to welcome them back and challenge them to do great things this year, but we also had one of the things that I enjoy most is giving out our years of service awards. So we were able to do that. I think we even had one who had brought their previous plaque to make sure they got the right plaque. But that was a lot of fun in handing those out. Our first day of school was Monday, August 4th. And we historically start, my leadership team starts at each of the buildings across the district. I had the good fortune of starting my day up at Page Elementary School, formerly Lakeview. And it was absolutely seamless, the design of welcoming students on campus, allowing parents to come onto the field with their children so that they could get to their teacher and their class, and then to see them walking into the school and getting right back into it. I also want to share that as Bunny and I had a chance to walk today, really appreciated seeing the 6th grade team meetings where they were talking about responsibility and what the Dust Devil Way is and what it means, what it looks like, what it sounds like, what we should see them doing when it comes to operating with other students. The last thing I'll highlight, not something for discussion this evening, but something to possibly bring up at the September regular governing board meeting on November. Our governing board meeting for November is currently scheduled for November 11th. November 11th is Veterans Day. So we will want to discuss whether we want to move the meeting during that week, whether we want to move it up a week, or whether we want to move it back a week. Perhaps we could add it to the study session agenda and then make a formal decision at our regular governing board meeting in September. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Bryce. Appreciate that. Item 5, unfinished business. Seeing that there is none, we're going to move forward to the governing board consent agenda. A copy of the consent agenda is available at the district administration office. All items listed will be considered as a unit by the governing board and will be approved with one motion. There will not be a separate discussion of these items unless a board member requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda except for items C, D, E, and F to be tabled until the August 25th special meeting study session.
Second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion was made by Buddy, second by Renee, motion carries. Item 7, calendar of events. This is informational, so each of us board members did receive a copy of the upcoming dates, events that are going to take place. Can I get, or maybe even ask Superintendent Anderson, what is the Devil's Day Junior High?
I would have to defer that to Mr. Gunther, Miss Moore. Miss Moore.
I was doing this.
He's got you.
Please. I believe the microphone is still on.
Good evening, Governing Board, President Fowler. Devil's Day is a new initiative that the athletic department is undertaking this year. We actually just did our first round with 9th through 12th graders, where we had 260 athletes going through rotations on student mental health, nutrition, sports medicine, and then sportsmanship and academics. So it's a day where we're trying to develop our student athletes to be more than just athletes, but to be well-rounded scholars as well. So that's what Devil's Day is.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that.
President Fowler,
Sure.
if I may also call the board's attention to my board report. I did include in the board report all of the dates for our governing board meetings, all of the dates for our governing board study sessions. I also included ASBA important dates. Just as a reminder, we've got the ASBA Law Conference pre-conference on September 3. September 4 and 5 is the ASBA Law Conference, and then September 6th is the Delegate Assembly. December 17th is ASBA ASA's 68th Annual Pre-Conference, and December 18th and 19th is ASBA ASA's 68th Annual Conference. So just wanted to point those out, that those are available to you in my report.
Thank you for that, I appreciate it. It helps to plan ahead, and those definitely are needed to prepare us ahead here. All right, I just want to make sure that we got Katie, this teacher professional staff. Okay, all right. Any other questions in regard to the calendar of events? Other than the November 11th board meeting? Renee, do you have any questions? Sorry to ask.
No, I just had one with a correction to be made as well.
Oh, okay, thank you for that. All right. Since there are no other questions, we're going to go ahead and go to item 8, additional agenda item A, discussion of possible selection of a board member to serve as the designated delegate at the ASBA Delegate Assembly.
So we can nominate someone?
You can nominate someone, but make sure that they're also attending the law conference or going to be present and available that day, because it'll take place in Phoenix.
Well, I would like to nominate Chris Benali. Honored.
I decline. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be available to attend, but
Okay.
for this reason. Next year, maybe. May I nominate you, Bunny?
I'm sorry, my work responsibilities, get in the way of it. I'd love to, but they get in the way of that.
You said so.
So I would have to respectfully decline. Sorry.
May I nominate Renee?
I'll accept.
Sounds good. I second that. Do I have a motion? I'm sorry.
Got a motion from Chris, second.
You gotta, okay,
Call the question.
thank you. All in favor to nominate Renee as our to represent on behalf of Page School District? Aye. Have fun, Renee.
Thanks.
It can be of a challenge worse than a chapter meeting. Have fun.
Chapter meetings are pretty hectic though. Sure.
Item B, discussion and possible action regarding the resignation of Sarah Ma Thomas and possible action to assess liquidation damages. A motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Superintendent Anderson.
President Fowler, members of the governing board, this is a component of our contracts that are issued. There are liquidated damages that are assessed if a staff member breaks their contract. Ms. Thomas's last day was today. She is a chemistry teacher at the high school. I would recommend assessing damages.
Questions, comments, concerns, board members? Seeing that there is none, all in favor? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion was made by Renee, second by Bunny, motion carries. Item C, discussion and possible approval of STEM Youth Engineering Solution and YES curricula. Motion?
I motion.
I'll second.
Do you want me to have him restate his motion?
We would be getting that.
I motion to approve the STEM Youth Engineering Solution and YES curricula.
Superintendent Anderson.
President Fowler, members of the governing board, this curriculum has been on display for the required 60 days. It is a exceptional resource that we are looking to integrate at the elementary level as we bring a STEM special into place. I will call your attention back to the surveys we did as it related to the redesign and adding a STEM program at the elementary level was one of the top vote getters. So curriculum's been vetted. It is something I would recommend the board approve.
I'd like to ask, Install, do you have any additional things to add to this? To the curricula for the elementary?
So we're working with,
Hello, everyone. So we are working with the STEM teacher, Celine Henderson. The items that she is ordering is for first semester. And so we don't know, like Dr. Anderson said, we don't know what we don't know. So we don't know if the units will take the entire year. And so we're going to revisit in October to determine our needs for next semester.
Thank you. Board members, do you have any questions? Superintendent Anderson, I see you have additional items.
I would just advise is there is an awful lot of material within this curriculum, and it really provides us an opportunity to design a pathway for our students so that they're not having the same type of lesson over and over and over again. It will be differentiated, so a student who takes STEM in second grade will not will have a completely different set of lessons in third grade, a different set of lessons in fourth grade, and really work to build on itself. So I just point that out. There are a lot of resources to pull from. We will be working our way through what consumables we need to acquire and what curricular resources will need to go along to support the curriculum.
Awesome, thank you for that. Any other questions, comments, concern, board members? All right, call for the vote. All in favor? Aye.
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 Motion was made by Chris, second by Bunny. Motion carries. Item D, discussion and possible approval of tax credit accounts.
I'll make a motion to approve the tax credit accounts.
Second.
I'll second that motion.
Superintendent Anderson.
President Fowler, members of the governing board, the attached document to tax credit accounts, any changes to that are highlighted in yellow. We are adding some tax credit accounts. As an example, we started flag football last year. We did not add a tax credit account, and we are adding that for this year. The other thing that is reflected in the document is the updated names associated with schools so that we can properly process tax credits and take them to the right school.
Thank you for that. Questions, comments? None? Oh. All right, well, the tax credit definitely helps programs in our school, and I just appreciate the endless amount of donations that we receive. So more importantly, this is very important. Call for the vote.
Aye.
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 Motion was made by Buddy, second by Renee. Motion carries. Item E, first read. This is a no action item. Policy Advisory Volume 37, Number 7, EB, GCQF, IKF, JLC, JLCD, JLF. Superintendent Anderson.
President Fowler, members of the governing board, just a reminder as it relates to governing board policy, the standard track is that it gets a first read and then at the next meeting gets a second read and possible adoption. I will bring these policies back to the board at our study session so that you can get a better understanding. Again, these are revisions made by the Arizona School Boards Association Policy Unit to reflect updates to Arizona Revised Statute and other policy-related changes.
Thank you for that. Item 9, future agenda items. Any time that a board member wishes to add future agenda items, make sure that it is 5 days prior to our board meeting so that we give Barb the appropriate time to add these agenda items being requested.
May I add one right now? Since
Yeah, you
it's-
definitely can.
Okay. Since we hold the community to the 3-minute time standard where we turn on the timer for the community members, I would like to request that we do that for the board members too. Set a 5-minute timer for the board members. It's only fair. And also,
Or-
that's one. Started
For
setting.
reports,
Yes,
or-
for reports, where there's a time, well, number 4, governing board member report, 5-minute time limit. So we don't have a timer starting, so maybe I should request that the timer is set for 5 minutes. So we can, once 5 minutes is up, that's it. Because the community is actually set to the 3-minute standard. It's hard for them. It's like. they're cut
That's
off.
just standard. It is standard for,
So may we do that for board members too, for 5 minutes? Because for some of us.
yeah, we can break this.
Yeah, so well, I'm just, since it's on the agenda, so I'm making this comment. Then also due process, would it be possible to find out for the lay person also, do what due process is? Because, just to bring it up to the community what due process is, and give them notice, like pretty much, I mean, it's just such a fancy words, it's informing a person that's gonna be giving them notice, instead of just saying due process, kind of just inform the community how, because the power, this is their community, so I'm just kind of, I'll just leave it at that for now. I don't want to make a big old anthill or a mountain out of an anthill, but just define due process in the agenda, and also the 5-minute time limit. I'm just requesting that, so you can do that. That's
All right, we can go ahead and add that.
May I make a comment on that?
Yeah,
If we're talking about that, and I'm thinking that I went over 5 minutes today, is that the?
Not just you, I mean, just to be fair for
But,
the community. So.
If we're gonna talk about maybe in a broader sense of the time limit, I understand Mr. Kerr was here tonight and he was very nervous. He knew he had more than 3 minutes worth of information, was not quite sure what he wanted to share and what he didn't want to share, and I think that 3 minutes went like that.
I'm sorry, that's a point of order. So, yeah,
Yes.
we can't talk about that. We gotta,
We can bring it to the study session.
To
Okay,
the
that's what I would
study
say, just an
session, yes.
open thing about revisiting the time offered to people.
yeah,
Okay.
that'll be a study session agenda item.
Okay.
All right, any other items, make sure to go through due process and let Barb know 5 days in advance. Now, item 10, adjournment. I call this motion, or this meeting to adjourn at 6:13 PM. Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, aye.
Oh, yeah. Motion was made by Desiree, second by Chris, motion carries.
Yes.